morning, my community. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening Canning Recipes. A little bit of everything. And what am I getting my hands into today? We're going to get back to canning. And today I'm going to can 2 pounds of beef heart and 2 pounds of beef and bone meal. Now I know the beef and bone meal sounds kind of gross, and we're kind of doing this for our dogs because we can't forget our dogs in this 365 challenge, guys. So they won't get a lot of it at once. It is good for them. It gives them their calcium and some potassium, a little bit of phosphorus, but it needs to be in moderation. So we're going to go ahead and can some of that up, and we'll have it on hand in case there's any kind of event where we can't get their dog food. But first, I'm going to start with my beef heart, and I'm going to fry that up in my electric skillet here and get it heated up. I've got my jars ready, and I have my new Denali pressure canner. Now guys, I did not know that Denali made pressure canners, so I'm excited to try this out. It's a beaut. If you didn't see my video yesterday on the unboxing of this, be sure and go check that out. And we're going to give it a workout today and just see how well it does. We're also going to give a workout on their canning lids. Now several of you have commented and said you like their lids. They're a little bit more heavy duty, and you're quite satisfied with them. So we're going to give those a test out as well. Excited, guys, about this new product line, and to see how well this does. So I'll go ahead and put the Denali link down below in the description after this video. You can go check them out. They have a lot of good information out there about their canners. They also have other products, and they also have other items for their pressure canning. So we're going to get started on this. Let's get to cooking up this meat. It's very important to us that we cook up especially that bone meal. We don't want to feed our dogs raw bone meal because sometimes it can be contaminated. The beef bone meal is usually made of the hooves and other parts of the animal that are rejected. We did get this from a local butcher, so that makes me a little bit more comfortable. So yes, let's get started. I'm going to cook up these 2 pounds of beef heart. Now this, from my understanding, Pop, I hadn't tasted it yet, said it tasted a lot like hamburger meat. A lot of you commented on one of my other videos where I canned it up and said you like it. This is a little bit more iron rich. So it might be something you might want to mix 50-50 with your regular hamburger meat to give it an iron boost if that is something you're looking for. So let's get started on this. So I have 3 regular mouths and 3 wide mouths, getting jars ready to can up with this meat. And wanted to show you guys what these Denali lids look like. They do seem like they're a little bit more heavy duty. So I'm eager to see how these hold up. I made some scrambled eggs from my rehydrated Harvest Right freeze-dried eggs. And I was thinking that this beef heart might have been a good addition to it to add some iron, because it is iron rich. It's a little low on the fat, which is good for us. So yeah, this would have been a good addition to add to those freeze-dried eggs. You can go check out that video as well. So I have my water in my canner heating up. I have my lids over here, and I have some water on the back burner here. I'm not going to use beef broth for this canning, guys. I'm just going to add water to it because I think, especially for this beef heart, the broth will be just fine if we just add water, and then through the pressure canning process, it's going to enrich it. If you're not familiar with the 365 challenge, guys, back at the 1st of January, I challenged our community to can up 365 jars of meals, meats, vegetables for the year of 2023. And it's been such a blessing that other channels have chimed in. So now it's not just our community. It is a collaborative effort between other channels. And those channels are Mimi Todd, Alabama Prepper, Central Texas Homestead, ourselves, and I think there might be some others. But also I'm asking that you send me pictures, and I've been getting them, guys, of your canning. And I add those to the end of my videos and showcase your great goods. And so if you want to join this, there's still plenty of time. I've been able to can up 71 pints just for this month, so I'm on a roll, but so many of you have already just blown me away. Normally, when I'm canning up hamburger meat, I wash it off to get a lot of the grease off. I'm not going to do this with this beef heart because it's extremely lean. We're going to go ahead and fill our jars, and then I'm just going to add my hot water, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in the canner so they stay hot while I prepare my beef and bone meal. Now I am going to go ahead and add about a half a teaspoon of canning salt, and we're going to add our hot water. We are going to debubble. It's very important that you debubble, guys. And we've added enough water that's going to give us about an inch headspace. And just a teeny tiny bit more. Just a tad. Now, let's wipe our rims. So when you wipe your rims, you're getting rid of excess grease so you get a good seal, but you're also inspecting the lids of your jars, or the rims of your jars, to make sure there's no cracking. Now we're going to add our lid on here. We're going to do finger tight, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in our handy dandy Denali canner, and we're going to get started on the other ones. Stay tuned to see how this beef bone meal cooks up, because it looks real gritty, real sandy like. And have you guys been watching the weather? They're saying we might get some frozen precip, I think Tuesday and Wednesday. They keep going back and forth. I did get a notification from the National Weather Service yesterday that said be on the lookout. We could get some winter precip, but we'll see. I know it's going to get colder, and winter is back, guys, and so we're kind of slowing down a little bit on our seed starts to make sure that they're going to be safe. You saw our seed tables out there are packed. We have hundreds of seed starts going. So that will pick back up when the weather starts to settle a bit. I cannot believe we are at the end of January, but we indeed are. So let's cook this up and let's see what we get. Kind of excited. Never seen anything canned up, never seen the bone and beef meal canned up, and I know my dogs will be excited too. So our bone meal is about ready to can up. So we're going to go ahead and get to canning it. Looks a lot like a very light colored hamburger meat, guys. And I wanted to tell you that Denali touts their canner as being flat top induction glass top stove friendly. And we've used our other canners on the glass top. It did scratch them a little bit, but it's not anything I'm worried about. I know some of you may be, but I'm certainly not worried about scratching something that I'm using every day. Let's get these filled here. But yeah, I'm excited to have this back on the pantry, and so this is going to bring my count up to about 77 pints, guys. 77 pints. Now that doesn't include everything that Greg canned last year, the tomatoes and all that when I was down with my back issue. So we are looking really good on our canned goods in our pantry, but I do want to expand it, and that's why we are doing this 365 canning challenge. So let's get these filled. I'll add my water, just a little bit of salt to this, probably not a half a teaspoon, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. And then we're going to start rocking and rolling on this Denali canner. All right, my friends, I've got it all loaded up. We're going to put the lid on, and we're going to get to rocking and rolling. Now we're going to process these for 70 minutes. If you were doing quarts, you would do it for 90 minutes. This thing up and get her going. Checking it out. All right, we're going to let this start steaming, and once it starts steaming, we're going to let it steam pretty ferociously for 10 minutes, and then we're going to let it crank up to about 11 pounds, and we're going to process for 70 minutes. Stay tuned. Coming up on the last several seconds of the 10 minutes, you can see it's pretty quiet, guys. So we're going to go ahead and put our 10-pound weight on here. Ooh, not liking that. That was a little bit difficult, but we'll give it another shot. Which is going to be about 11 pounds. Now what's going to be interesting is with my other canner, I knew exactly where I needed to set my burner to keep it at the correct pressure for an extended time. And so eager to see if this is going to be the same. And then once it comes up to pressure, we're going to set our timer for 70 minutes. This has a lot of safety features. This is a safety valve. We have a safety valve back here. So yeah, I'm eager to see. Now this one, whereas on my other canner, I can let it just sit until the pressure goes completely down and the valve, the safety valve in back pops down. This one states that you should really leave it alone after it gets down to 0 pressure for 20 minutes. So we'll see how that goes as well. So we've hit the 11-pound mark. It did it nice and slow. So now it's time for me to turn down my heat, and let's see what happens here and how long it takes it to stabilize. And I want to stand here and watch it because I don't want it to drop, because if your pressure drops below your correct poundage, guys, you got to start all over. So I don't want it to drop. So I did lower the heat. It's pretty quiet. So it looks like it's starting to stabilize right at about 12 pounds. I'm going to watch it. It's always nice to use something new, but you want to make sure that you're understanding it from your old way of doing things. It's raising a little bit. It's very quiet, surprisingly. So I just turned it down a notch because it's in between 12 and a half, 13 pounds. So I want to get it back down and make sure it stops climbing. I had Greg come in and inspect the lip and everything and make sure that we are locked and loaded, and he says, yeah, everything looks good. It does look like it's stabilizing. It hasn't moved. Now there's a lot of things that can affect your pressure. Like we have a central AC unit, but we don't use it because it's our home is not very well insulated, so we use window units. I don't have that running, but in the summertime, if you have cold air blowing on it from like window units or your AC, your pressure is going to fluctuate. And yeah, it looks like it's staying pretty stable. So I do like, guys, how it's sitting on the glass stove. It's pretty flat, pretty stable. So I found my sweet spot, guys, and it's pretty much about the same as my other canner. So I'm sitting between low and 2, so I'd say a 1 on my glass top stove, and it's staying pretty steady so far. Everything's great. It's still very quiet. We got 54 more minutes to go, so I've been able to hold it steady for about the last 10 minutes on my stove setting. Halfway through, guys, and it's still holding steady. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, pretty satisfied. Of course, I'll see whenever we open it up. Now, we're not only doing a review of the canner, we're also doing a review of the lids, and to see how they hold up. So excited to see. Stay tuned. 70 minutes have passed, guys. I've just turned off my heat, and now we're going to let the pressure drop. Be interesting to see how long it takes for this to drop as well. So what I really liked about this is the way it's set on the stove. It is very close. I think it gives it a little bit more stability for my pressure. I like that I was able to keep my habit of between low and 2 and maintain my pressure. It seems to be a little bit shorter than my other one. And it ran very quiet. So we're going to go ahead and let this cool down. We'll see how long it takes. And then I will update you. We'll pull the jars out and see how the canning lids did. So stay tuned. So it's been down at 0, guys, for quite a bit. You can still hear some steam coming from where the weight is. So we're going to wait a little bit longer before we open her up. Okay, guys, so it's settled down. We're going to see what we got going on in here. I'm doing my video. My papa's over here doing his jigsaw puzzle. He says I'm torturing him. Alright, everything looks to do pretty good in here. Let's see. Now we want to see how these here lids seal. Looking pretty good, guys. All right. Can you see them? So I see 1, I think 3 have already sealed. These 2, the buttons are still up, so we're going to see how they do. Okay, guys, so all my jars have sealed, but guess what? I found out something new. So this is the weight, and you're supposed to put this on before you start canning and when you lock the lid in place. And then if you watched my unboxing, this vent here is an automatic venting process regulator, and once it reaches the pressure it needs, it will automatically close. So the 10-minute venting process that I did and that we normally do with our canners doesn't need to be done with this one because it automatically does it through this handle. Let that be a testament that it's best to read instructions before you get started. But anyway, I think it worked out okay. But we will do another video and show you just how that works, that automatic venting thing. But yep, these all sealed in the last 10 minutes. So we're happy about this. This, again, let's see, there's 5 here. So actually I have 76 pints that I've canned in January for the 2023 canning challenge. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and thanks for learning with me because, see, read the instructions. But anyway, I'm happy with how they turned out. I think the lids look fine. In my next video, I'll do an update and show you after we can take the bands off, because we do need to leave these here for about 24 hours and leave them undisturbed, at which time we'll take the bands off and test the seal. So on my next video, I'll be sure and update you on that. So thank you for watching. God bless you all. We'll be in touch. See you soon, and stay tuned for all of your goods to be showcased right now.